Hello everyone, this is Seraphellin playing Lady Knight Saga, and I mentioned before that doing a little banshee farming would be a good idea, so I went ahead and did that. We got from them, if I can find it, a few of their particular drop. It was a teardrop. There it is, 3 of these. So he was looking for kind of a manifestation of grief or sorrow or something like that. And that is it. It's wonderful, saying something about the shape and form. We go together, and it's truly one of the truths of the world. Excuse me. And here's your reward. And once again, he wants more stuff. Something from monsters called Amoeba Girls. We've seen those in the Advanced Dungeon. Apparently they have something that, I vaguely remember seeing this somewhere else. It's kind of a bookish way of saying it gets you horny. So yeah, he's interested in figuring out what that is. But before we go back to the Advanced Dungeon, which I do intend to do, we got something in there that I think is what the fairy in the Jinkid Mines wanted. Some kind of glowing moss stone. If we just come back here. Yeah, she wants something shiny and amazing, and yeah, what's this? What's this? Never seen it before. Let's trade. I'll give you something good. So we handed over the glowing moss, I think it's like luminescent moss cobblestone, and got back the fairy's red. I think that's honey or nectar. Come to think of it, wasn't Leafio looking for some kind of magic nectar? Anyway, thank you for all the trading we've done. I'll head back to the other. I've got to head back to the others. Bye. And it's gone somewhere. So that's the end of that trading quest chain. I think as long as you don't trade one of each of the first 3 things, you can keep trading as many of those as you want to. But as soon as you've done one of each, it moves on to the next part of the quests, and you can't trade anything except that last thing. Yeah, here's the fairy's red honey. Yeah, fairies like to eat it. One of the 7 berry honeys. Okay. I think that is connected to Leafia, and it's used in one of the in-H scenes. Let's also see if we can craft anything new here. Okay, we have the Cestus already. I need the giant claw for this, and it's really not even as good as the Cestus. More agility, but less attack. I need a bug wing for this. And again, more agility, less attack than the butcher knife we already have. Have one of these on Najiko. That. Now that is on Horn. So yeah, the only things we haven't made here are the Beast-Hide Glove and the Feather Knife. But there's also the Alchemy in Yukana. So items, we can make some of these. So that's our half restoration. Let's get a few more of those. Slimes aren't useful for anything else but that. But mostly I wanted to look at the equipment. And yeah, I could make another ice shield. It's kind of expensive, probably not worth it at this point. But this, we get a yokai tree staff, which is made from the monster tree branch, I think, and the teardrops. So go ahead and make one of those. And that will be a pretty good upgrade for Manami. Yeah, best mage weapon I have so far was the cheap rod, which you can buy here. But this little more attack, which we don't care about, but 5 more spirit. Anyway, back to the advanced dungeon, where we will have to slog through poison, but that's okay. Yeah, I determined after checking monster data, these aren't actually weak against anything. So just hit them with whatever. And they're really not that dangerous either. It's the other monsters in here we have to look out for. Some of them, anyway. I think it was this way to get through the first screen. Yeah, this is it. Now, there were some bridges in this area that you could hop across, but they collapsed after the first time you do that, so... Oh, we have an Amoeba Girl. They can appear in random encounters, it's just uncommon. I think I'll focus fire on her. Yep, and they can splash you with the fluids, which cause aroused status, so... yeah. Actually getting them to drop them is another matter. And now this is interesting. I thought that was already... gone. But I guess if you leave the area and come back, so does the segmented bridge, so that's kind of odd. I'm not complaining, it's just unexpected. Okay, that gun has to stay there because there's no other way back. Alright, we got a recovery shower. That's the everyone gets healed thing. Let's walk around the poison. In any case, I've been checking the game's revision history and comparing the latest version to the one I'm playing, which latest version is 1.10, this is version 1.00, so... but first, here in this chest here we found the proof of the advanced. So there was a beginner's proof in the beginner's dungeon, there's an intermediate proof in the forest dungeon, there's an advanced proof here. We now have all 3 of those. There was a mention of some kind of prize for collecting them all. If I can find them. Yeah, here they are. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. So I guess that's at the guild. Anyway, as far as I can tell from the revision history, the only significant content change was that version 1.01 added a very easy mode. Which, very easy mode is when you start the game, there's an extra fairy added to the character creation room where you pick your class. If you talk to that fairy, you get the option to start with the protection basically of the entire zodiac instead of a single constellation. So if you pick that, that gets you in what's they call very easy mode. It's similar to the, I think this was Scorpio's Stella that I'm using, where you have long swords, you have shields, you have all the same skills she gets, but you also get a number of high-end healing skills that you wouldn't normally, that are typically exclusive to some of the clerics. You get 2 very powerful offensive skills that are added in that version and don't exist here. You get some exclusive equipment, like high-powered stuff. There's a sword that Stella's Mage 919 and Gran Blade, so that would be electric, so that's the light elemental one. Yes, and it's listed as being medium damage instead of small damage. In any case, Horn got hit by one of the slime girls. Let's cure that. But yeah, very easy Stella starts with a newly added sword that is powerful enough to last you at least through the mid-game. She starts with a pretty good shield. She starts with newly added wardstone that resists all damage types and comes with 4 more, so she can equip the rest of the party with them. I guess I'll keep talking. She comes with an accessory that prevents basically all status attacks. Normally things that prevent all status effects do not prevent aroused, and that continues to be the case with that, but everything else. And again, she comes with 4 more of this for everyone else, so you're starting the game with resistance to all damage, immunity to pretty much every status effect, some hyper-powered skills. She gets an extra 100 HP and MP. Yeah, you get a thing for clearing the dungeon. Take it to the receptionist at the Adventurers Guild. Okay. Is that in Yukana or Gran or somewhere else? We'll try Yukana. Might as well heal up along the way. Okay, we have 13 party members total. Is there even a receptionist, though? And this is the one that gives you the bounty monster information, which we've already beaten for the month. These are just people who are here. Yeah, this is the one talking about some fisherman and the tomboy called Toto. Yeah, let's just change party lineup. That's the guy I think you... No, this is the guy that pays you for bounties. This is... Yeah, so whatever it is you get the reward for, it's not here. I guess we'll try Gran. It looks like all the same NPCs here. Behind the bar, anyway. And the others are just adventurers. So... I'm guessing it must be another branch of the Adventurers Guild that we haven't been to yet. There are more cities and dungeons that we don't have access to in this month, so... That's probably it. Okay, I took a quick look at a fact, and apparently the reward for getting all the things is in a town we don't have access to until a later month, so it's nice to have them, but we can't actually do anything with that yet. For now, I think I'll just come back here and keep talking through what I found in version updates, while hoping to find some more slime girls. So yeah, most of the updates noted are just balance adjustments, typo fixes. Typo fixes, they mention some places where there's scripting errors that can get you stuck. Correcting some minor issues with the maps. Probably places where you could actually accidentally go out of bounds or get caught in a corner or something. And that's what most of the updates are. But there are a few exceptions that note more significant things, like version 1.02, they specifically mention, if you remember the Speed Queen we fought in the sewers, that's specifically mentioned as being nerfed in version 1.02. So apparently I'm not the only person who struggled with that battle. Version 1.04, they corrected a thing with Barbara's experience curve, where in the original versions, Barbara takes more experience than anyone else to level up. That was apparently accidental. So as of version 1.04, she uses the same experience curve as every other character. 1.04 also mentions weapon balance adjustments. Specifically, the strongest hammer was improved, and the strongest spear was Apparently it was accidentally not available until that version, so yeah. Seems I handicapped myself in my first playthrough without realizing it because I picked Spear class for Stella, and this best Spear you just can't get in this version. It's there in the game data, apparently. It just wasn't... Yeah, there just wasn't any way to actually get it. So since I'm playing that version, we'll just never see the strongest Spear. Which is kind of a shame. Now, yeah, that's pretty much the only things of note that are mentioned in the revision history. That's not just like miscellaneous bug fixes, typo fixes, slight balance adjustments. So yeah, I think I'm going to go check the game data, search the game data and check to see if there's any other changes I notice, and if there are, then start noting them on the website as I find them. Which, yeah, in case you haven't noticed, check in... I think it's in the playlist info. I've been posting information about characters, skills, items, ongoing plotline as we encounter stuff. And that will also have basic information about the H scenes, which of course I'm not showing here, but how to get them, very general descriptions of what happens in them, how they affect Stella's depravity, any rewards you get for doing them, because although I'm avoiding them to keep Stella's depravity at 0, the game does kind of want you to go get them. It encourages that by having the memory room, as I mentioned in an earlier video, but also a lot of the scenes will pay out in items or money, or sometimes even making characters stronger. So again, the game wants you to get them, and there's really not much point to keeping depravity at 0. Yeah, I think there was one late game boss with a special attack that does more damage the higher it is. But other than that, you're really rewarded for raising it. This again, as has been noted before, as soon as your depravity gets to 30, you can take things from wooden chests in people's houses. As soon as it gets to 50, you can take things from the treasure chests in people's houses. And as soon as it gets to 70, you can start looting their dressers and cabinets, which, yeah, it's not guaranteed, but they tend to have rare and powerful items. Yeah, getting low on MP, so should probably leave soon. Yes, I have been encountering slime girls or amoeba girls, but it feels like it's something like 1 in 5 battles. I suppose it's possible that they're more common deeper in, but this is kind of a hostile area. Even with everyone protecting it against confusion, the mushrooms are particularly annoying, because even if you're not getting confused, you still have characters falling asleep. And it's a multi-target thing, so everyone falling asleep sometimes. Now, I did not get the thing from the Amoeba Girls, but at least we're getting experience. And gold. But yeah, I think that'll be it for now, so yeah, this has been Arafallon playing Lady Night Saga. Come back next time for more. I think I'm gonna grind in here a little longer off-camera, hope to get whatever it is the Amoeba Girls drop. Until then.